Hi, we're here to talk about the Michigan State Long Range Plan, looking to the year 2045 now. And I'm Jeff Cranson, Communications Director at the Michigan Department of Transportation, and I'm talking with the department's director, Kirk Steudle. And we're going to talk specifically about technology and the rapid evolution of technology, the things that are happening in real time, really exponentially changing all our lives, and how that affects this plan and the process, because it's going to be a tremendous factor in how things are determined. So thanks for being here.
Absolutely, it's great.
Can you talk just a little bit about the development of the plan and the integral part this discussion will be in the incorporation of the technologies? And I think the big thing is obviously connected and highly automated vehicles, something you're very involved in.
Yeah. So the State Long Range Plan, as hopefully most of our viewers know, is an effort that we go through every 3 to 5 years, and it's our intention to look out, in this case, to 2045 and say, what's the vision? What should this look like? And take into account all the different challenges that are out there, funding, populations, you name it. And one of the biggest question marks in my mind is technology. What's technology going to look like in 2045? All you have to do is go backwards about even 4 or 5 years ago. And we were talking about connected vehicles, and autonomous vehicles were kind of a dream. They were still kind of coming around. That was 5 years ago. And now we're talking about highly automated vehicles that are going to be out on the streets. We have autonomous shuttles running in downtown Detroit right now in 2018. So what's going to be the urban center look like in 2045? I mean, it could look dramatically different. I think there will be components of it that will look very similar, but I think there will be other components that look drastically different.
So AAA has polled on this question, and so has Epic MRA here in Michigan. And there is still a lot of trepidation, and it changes generationally, about the idea of automated vehicles, highly automated vehicles, and whether people are comfortable with that. Because as you know, everybody's a good driver, but the other guy isn't.
Right.
So
yeah, but we do know that 94% of all crashes are human related. Right. It's the driver error that caused it. So if we really want to get to a vision of zero fatalities, then the sooner we get the human error out of the equation, the better, from a safety perspective. Now, there's still going to be manually driven cars for a long time, but they're going to be more and more highly automated as they go on. All you have to do is look at what's on the dealer lots today and the technology that's out there today with adaptive cruise control. So you can set the cruise control and it won't run into the car in front of you. Right?
Auto braking,
advanced braking, where the car senses you're going to be in a crash before you even know you're going to be in a crash. So just think about the technology of that. What is that? What's the potential for that? Right? So all of these things are starting to come in. Lane keeping systems, a car that keeps you between the paint lines, as long as they can see the paint lines.
Right.
Right? So all of that is coming, and you're going to see it filter more and more and more down to entry-level cars. So if you think about 2045, that's at least 2 cycles from now, right? Because it takes about 12 years to flip over the auto fleet. That's if you think about the vehicles that are in your driveway, maybe you've got one that's 12 to 15 years old, and you're probably running it till the wheels fall off. But that's about the turnover rate, 12 to 15 years. So now you go out 25 years, and you're probably in this whole second generation of vehicles that will have lots of highly automated features on them.
So that's kind of the contradiction. I always find that if you ask people, is automatic braking a good thing? Well, yes. Is lane assist a good thing? Well, yes. Is a backing camera a good thing? Yes.
What about auto dim headlights?
Yeah.
What about auto sensing wipers? Auto sensor wipers,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. So those are all good things, but are you ready to give up the wheel? No.
Right.
So
and so I think it was 2014 where Bill Ford said, when we get to that point, it will be natural, because all of these other pieces have been integrated into your vehicle. And you will feel comfortable doing that. So, you're going to have some highly automated, right now, autonomous shuttles, like I mentioned already, May Mobility running in downtown Detroit, the Navia shuttle running on U of M's campus. Those things are running today, so people are already experiencing some of that. I think what's really interesting is the University of Michigan studying how people react to the Navia shuttle. So they've got cameras on the outside, seeing how they approach it. They got cameras inside, seeing how people react inside the vehicle. And I think that will really help us as we look towards this public acceptance. What is it? What's the expectation as you come up to it? How do you overcome that? And then if you roll it into this discussion of 2045, I think we will have overcome that. Remember, this is a long time from now, especially in technology stage. If you just go back 10 years, it was 10 years ago when the smartphone came out. Who could live without a smartphone now?
So what's the burden on the people conducting these town halls, these stakeholder meetings, to try to balance the traditional needs of the transportation system, the traditional modes, with the new technology that you're talking about? Because you know there are people that are going to show up at these meetings that say, I don't plan on taking May Mobility, and I don't plan on having a driverless car. Yep. So, how do you balance
And at the same time, you're going to have another public meeting. I'll guarantee it that's where the focus will be, is that, it's going to be all this. So that's going to be the challenge to the team here, is how do you balance all the different needs and views across 10 million people across the state? And we know technology is going to be implemented in the next 25 years, and it's going to change, and it's going to be integrated into what we're doing. So while there's some people that will choose to opt out of that, and we've got to respect that, society in general is going more and more and more to integrating more technology. So you've got to blend those together. So whoever comes to that public meeting and is a naysayer, that's their opinion, and we have to take that into consideration, and you have to balance it all together.
So it's safe to say that as this plan is developed over the next few years with a lot of input, a lot of comment from all different places, different resources, that technology is going to be a big factor in that.
Technology is going to be a really big factor, and I think we as a state of Michigan are really sitting in a very unique spot with all the automotive companies and suppliers that are here. In case people don't know, 75% of all of North America's research and development happens in Michigan. There's 375 companies. It's happening right here. And we've got some great facilities at M-City and the American Center for Mobility that are going to be doing really cutting-edge work on the technology side, but also on the integration side. What does it mean to people? And what design features need to be incorporated to help people with disabilities or an aging population? So all of that stuff is going to really blend into our future. Now, we're going to have all that done and all that research by the time the state long-range plan is done at the end of 2020? Probably not. But the important piece is we have the ecosystem right here, and we've got to tap into that. We've got to recognize that that's what the future is going to be, and we've got to figure out how do we harness that and how do we bring it forward.
Okay, thanks. I think that you can find a link on your screen to find out more about this and see how you can engage. So stay tuned for more.